Hey guys, welcome to another video here with Olivia at A Bit of Everything. Now previously I have spoken to you about my view on 16 and pregnant and a little bit about my story. But today we are going to hear about my pregnancy and birth and see how that went. Now because there's a lot you forget, and yes, my mind is very forgetful. So I have actually written down notes on my phone so I don't try not to forget any parts for you. Also in this video, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a giveaway. Now this will be just for New Zealanders because I'm not sure about shipping out of New Zealand. And with this one, you have to watch because I'm not going to tell you when the giveaway is going to pop up. Alright, so into the story about my pregnancy. Well, so I fell pregnant at the start of August in 2008. I did not know, obviously, until my doctor actually had me doing tests for 5 weeks continuously. I had no idea why. So I'd done that test every Friday before I would go out with my friends, and they all came back negative. And then after that 5 weeks, the week after, I really wanted Lyme Fizz. I was crying because I wanted it so bad, so I decided one more pregnancy test wouldn't hurt. And guess what? I was 6 weeks pregnant. So yeah, pregnancy didn't show up early for me, but I did find out reasonably early. So after that, it was find the midwife. I found an amazing midwife, Rebecca. She was the best. So thank you, Rebecca, even though it was many years ago. And so thereon, at my first scan, that was so cool getting to see wee Kaleb, like just that heartbeat, because I could see the heartbeat. I got to hear the heartbeat. I was 8 weeks when I had my first scan, and my mum also went with me, and the first thing she said was, thank God it's not twins. Now 16, 8 weeks pregnant, hearing your mum saying that, thinking there's a chance of me having twins? Wait, what? I got a little freaked out, but I didn't need to be because I knew there was just one in there. So it continued. About 15 weeks was when I started feeling my little flutters, and that turned into huge kicks. And so 8 weeks was when I started getting morning sickness, and that carried on till I was 40 weeks. So at the 19-week scan, I went hoping to find out his gender. I had all the inklings, everything led to a little girl. Mama's instinct was wrong that time. And so I was so excited to find out a girl or a boy. I was happy either way. And he crossed his legs. He crossed them as tight as he possibly could to make sure there was no possible way of finding out if he was a boy or a girl. So the 19-week scan went all right. Everything went fantastic at that stage. And then at 21 weeks, I was like, so I had a boyfriend at the time, and I was staying with him, and he was also a dairy farmer. And being a new-time mum young, I had this white sticky stuff coming out of my nipples, and I had no idea what it was. Turned out colostrum was already coming out at 21 weeks, so I started to fill up quite early, which did mean in the end I had a massive milk supply, so that was a thumbs up. But leaking colostrum for about 20 weeks can be fun. Some days you have to just wear breast pads so it doesn't leak through your tops, because one day I did come home and found out I had 2 patches on my tops. Lovely times. So I kept getting the morning sickness, and that did mean, unfortunately, I did have to leave a course I was doing. It was one for young mums, just to try get NCA credits, because I did leave school early. But the sickness, it made it hard to do almost anything. So, yeah, so where was I? Sorry, just had a phone call, quick phone call. Right. So I think I was at the colostrum. So this goes quite quick because, you know, it's just standard pregnancy until really the end was when my pregnancy got more. Sorry, I can't think of the word. Intense. This is my fibro fog, man. I can't remember words and it takes me forever to come up with them. Please, is anyone else like that? Whew. So, also at 21 weeks, me being mean, I love changing rooms around. It's just me. And guess who decided to change the bedroom around so it could fit for the baby even better? Yeah, me over here. I ended up with major cramps and in hospital, so I do not recommend, even if you think your furniture's light, I do not recommend moving around furniture while you are pregnant. And it was just muscle pain really. So it wasn't too bad. I got quite lucky with that. However, they did do a quick scan to check on baby and he was absolutely fine, but they weren't capable of telling me if he was a boy or girl, so sadly I didn't get to find out. So if we skip forward to about 28 weeks, this is when, I'm not going to show now because I do have a really, obviously, big stomach now. But my stomach had no stretch marks at all, and overnight it went to just, imagine flames from right here to right down, just, you know, your whole stomach, and it was like flames all over, just lines everywhere. I woke up with all of them and it's like, oh, it was overnight. The stretch marks, they come instant. Sometimes what I'd also find with, I don't know if it's having a boy or what, but he would tend to, especially when I would lie down, he would somehow sit back in my bum and he would keep pushing on it and it would feel like you need a poo or something, and it's just like, oh my god, get out of there. But somehow he must have had a lot of room, because even though he'd get down there, he would also get up under my ribs, and oh my god, the pain. I know all you mamas know that rib pain of when they put their foot up underneath your rib and you cannot move. Okay, so I did have a lot of heartburn. He did end up coming out with quite a patch of real dark hair, which I'll show you a photo of. So then we skip forward to 36 weeks. Now 36 weeks is when it's pretty much safe for baby to come out. They may need some extra help at that early. So my midwife said, well, since you didn't find out the gender, some people go for a 36-week scan. Would you like to go for one? Me? Yes, please. So I got a 36-week scan, and I am really, really thankful for that scan, because in that scan they also found out, Kaleb has a dilated left kidney. So that meant over the years we were able to continue checking up on that, thanks to finding it in his 30-week scan. But before the 30-week scan, before the 36-week scan, my all the nurses at the hospital and my midwife had bets that I was going to go at least 36 weeks. They thought I was all going early. I don't know why, but everyone was convinced this baby, oh, sorry, I don't have one in there now, but you know, back then, that baby, Kaleb, he was not coming out late. He was going to come out early, and everyone was convinced of that. Now, if you heard a little thing earlier, you'll figure out. So we all thought that, but yeah, we were wrong. So just remember, don't believe everything you're told, because just because someone's certain of something doesn't mean it's going to happen. So after this, so the 36-week scan was, so the 36-week scan was where we found out Kaleb was a boy. So it was straight to buy a coming home from the hospital outfit for a little boy after. So, so happy to find out I was going to have my wee son. And after 36 weeks, that's when the Braxton Hicks started. So I actually did get quite a few of them regularly. My mum would actually take me for a walk when they'd start. We'd get walking and we would go for regular walks as well, see if we could bring them on, just help move things along a little, keep it going. And at the same time, they also said I had a lot of fluid in with baby. They said baby was very, like, he was on the small side. But there's a lot of fluid, and because I was home alone a lot, they were actually worried about, I think it's, I can't remember what it's called, prolapse, I'm not sure, where the cord will actually come out before the baby if your waters, if your waters break and the baby's not engaged enough and there's too many waters, they'll actually push the cord out first. So I did end up spending a lot of my last few weeks in hospital because they were worried that that was going to happen to me. With that, he was engaging pretty early on. From about 31 weeks, I think it was, he has started engaging and he just went from there. So at about 36 weeks, he is 3 out of 4, I think it was, if that's how they measure it, if I remember rightly. So he wasn't quite fully engaged, he could still bobble a little, but he is almost there. So time continued to go on, no baby showing up. Got to 40 weeks and finally the morning sickness started. Now he was meant to be an Anzac baby if he arrived on time, but he was not. So at 41 plus 5 was when they started to, they done wee scans and they're like, oh, they didn't actually tell me, but the placenta wasn't looking the greatest, so they had to hurry things along and get him out. And they done a sizing scan on the Monday, and they said to me, he's going to be £6, around £6. So here I am, I go out with mum, we buy all these preemie, not heaps, but a couple preemie outfits and hats because we're like, oh no, he's so tiny. We've just got newborn stuff, we didn't think about preemie stuff. And what happened? You'll have to find out.